Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, on this episode of Bullet Points this morning, we are going to do what Bullet Points was originally designed to do. Bash into the opinion pieces, because that's where the left really chills. Well, we're going to go in there, and I'm going to show you exactly what the leftist gun controllers are thinking in Washington State specifically. Because you'd think they would be all about encouraging the governor there to sign their new magazine ban that is ineffectual and won't do anything. But they're not. They're actually pushing even further and further and further before it's even signed. This is the entire point of every argument we've ever made. It's never about the one law. It's never about that one little cut to make sure that every common sense gun reform is taking place and the gun deaths are going down, because it's not about that. It's about complete abolition of the Second Amendment rights. This article proves this. I want to walk you through it. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below so you can follow along with it if you'd like to. I want to hear from you guys on this one because in Washington, you got reinforcements coming, but you're in the battle. You're in the thick of it. Now I'm going to do a quick read from USCCA, which made this video possible, and then I'm going to show you everything in their end desires in Washington and probably nationwide as well. But here we go. The USCCA is about something bigger than the right to bear arms. It's a resource to help you be ready for the before, during, and after a self-defense incident. If you're not one of the 500,000 plus responsibly armed Americans who are proud USCCA members, then now is the time to explore USCCA membership. Click the link in the description below now to learn about life-saving education and industry-leading training. Like I said, it's in the description box below, just so you know all of your options. Check it out, and thank you so much for USCCA for making these videos possible. But now, let's dive into this opinion piece. Now, this is out of Washington State. The important thing here, guys, I want to show you the mindset, because again, the bill for the magazine ban hasn't even been signed into law yet by the governor, and this is what they're saying. Check this out. I want to bring a few things to your attention, specifically the catalyst for this article, but I also want to bring you where their intentions are. Now, this is something that I kind of coined. It just kind of makes sense, and I like saying it. It is better to do something, even though something will do nothing, but at least we did something. It puts everything in perfect summation of the mindset of the gun controller. Like, it may not work, but at least we did something, right? It doesn't matter if we infringe upon everyone's rights, at least we did something. It's about the feeling of doing something versus actually solving the problem. Here we go. Check this out. In our view, more measures needed to end gun violence. Now, this is from yesterday, okay? Again, Washington State. The bill's not even signed yet. A recent glance at Colombian.com served as a small reminder of the need to address gun violence, illuminating a scourge that plagues not only our community but the entire nation. Now, here's the setup, and here's the two catalysts that he's talking about. Man wounded. Downtown Vancouver residents lose power in 2 drive-by shootings. That's illegal behavior. Probably linked to gangs because that's a trademark of a gang. And here's the other one. Next to that article was another headline. Man injured in apparent drug deal gone wrong. Those are 2 instances of criminal behavior that resulted in gun violence. That's what they're basing this entire article off of. Check this out. Let's keep going. The United States' obsession with guns is epidemic, leading to one of the highest rates of firearms deaths among developed nations. Insert normal talking point here. According to the Switzerland-based Small Arms Survey, there are 400 million citizen-owned guns in the United States, about 120 for every 100 people. And whether by country or by state, the rates of gun deaths track with the rate of firearms. Well, that's not really true, because if that were true, Los Angeles would have no gun rates, would have no gun crimes. Washington, D.C. would have no gun crimes. Chicago would have no gun crimes. New York would have no gun crimes. That's a completely false premise, but let's keep going. But you got to say it, because that's the little cherry on top, right? In 2020, according to the CDC and Prevention, there were 864 firearm deaths in Washington. The rate of 10.9 deaths per 100,000 in population, it ranked 12th, as lowest in the nation. By comparison, Mississippi had 28.6 gun deaths per 100,000 residents, the highest in the country, followed by Louisiana, Wyoming, Missouri, and Alabama. While Washington's rate of gun violence is preferable to that of many other states, it remains too high. Now, what they're not telling you is 60%, 2/3 of all of that is suicide. That's why they call it gun deaths. They don't call it gun crime. They call it gun deaths for that reason, because it inflates the numbers. It's significant. Anyway, check this out. But additional measures are needed. The bill isn't even signed yet. The magazine ban, okay? The legislature last week approved a ban on the sale of high-capacity magazines, sending it to the governor. The move does not prohibit the possession of those magazines, but only the sale of them. It will not prevent gun violence, but it will lessen the possibility of high casualty mass shootings. No, it won't. That's a complete load of something. The whole point here is he's building into the fact that the gun laws aren't enough. We have the best in the nation. We're still ranked 12th, so we need more. The mindset is to get rid of all guns. If you do not believe me, let's keep going. In recent years, lawmakers or voters have also approved background checks on gun sales, increasing the minimum age for some gun purchases, and requirements regarding the safe storage of weapons. So all of those things, and you still have a problem, because the laws will not work. Criminals are going to criminal. None of these measures will end gun violence, but they represent a sensible approach to dealing with what would be regarded as a public health crisis. It's better to do something than do nothing, and even if something does nothing, at least we did something. That's where their mind's at. If you think they're going to stop at any point in time, they will not. They will only stop at the abolition of gun violence or gun deaths because they want to get rid of the Second Amendment. That's the whole point. They see guns in existence as equal to crime in existence. You get rid of the gun, therefore you get rid of the crime. It's not that way. We all know it, but this is where their mindset's at. And that's why I wanted to show it to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys tonight at the 9 p.m. segment.